Hey, we're on time, kinda. Kinda. Uh, anyway, we're back. We know we're going to Wayne Planet. The whole kind of streaming thing kind of fucking sucked last night, huh? I have no idea why. Hopefully tonight is a little bit less temperamental. Checked and double checked just about everything on my end, and well, we'll see, right? Anyway, so on the watch back, we have further thoughts. Close quarters happens in both Dead Space while we were Isaac, and Lost Planet 2 just recently while we're this temp. It's similar sequences where you're suddenly in just very tight spots, and the latter for Lost Planet 2 is interesting because it recontextualizes the game's systems, but the game systems already don't fight you as much as Dead Spaces does. For example, the camera in Lost Planet 2, of all fucking things, seems to work better. Dead Spaces doesn't, as far as tight spots are concerned. It dips in too close to really see in a limited field of view to begin with, and then snaps away pretty violently when you free it from a corner. The guns themselves actually get hung up on objects and have like such broad cones of focus that the entire hitbox of the projectile gets cancelled when like you nip a corner. So you could be aiming 2/3 of your gun around the let's say a doorway, fire, and have the shot be ineffective in Dead Space on account of because. Lost Planet 3 doesn't really do that. The bullets go mostly where you want them. There's still a cone of effect to simulate spread, and there's not too many instances I can call to mind where something has been too close to shoot, which we experienced a few times in Dead Space. That's a common thing that a lot of these developers who do like third-person shooter things seem to overlook, is that there is such a thing as too close to shoot in their kind of realm, and that's got to be mitigated either through like character animation or just a broader collision detection thing that doesn't let things get that close. Dead Space decided to do neither. Things can just kind of crawl up on you and just sit at very, very, very problematic angles. Hasn't been my experience with Lost Planet. Anyway, so on this continuing rambling preamble, I know I've talked a few times about force grouping, and like the reiteration and repeated attempts to communicate is kind of further clarified the message. So we all know about, the unpleasantness that comes with the remembrance, the mood, if you will, of being told to bring your miserable gremlin brother along to a destination and or activity you hoped would be an escape from said gremlin and gremlin's progenitor. Like that's definitely strike one, and sometimes an unfair one on my behalf. It's a bias. It is. I acknowledge it. I try to get around it because, hey, it's been quite some time. That was a long time ago. It doesn't necessarily mean that someone else who is simply tagging along is going to be a bad experience, but these things that are formative, they're hard to shake. So this brings me to the other experiences that I've had, and just kind of trying to deconstruct my own thought process as to what exactly my problem happens to be with group content. And I kept coming back to how very closely the Lost Planet 2 bots mirror my experience in multiplayer. When they're not useless, they're an active detriment. And that's the people that I've met. A couple examples. In Dark Souls 2, while fighting the Pursuer for the first time, I summoned what should have been help, and they shot me in the back with the ballista and ended my attempt. They took their time to aim and wait for the opportunity too. At first I figured they were just kind of being unhelpful, so I was carrying on the fight as usual. Circle to the side that doesn't have their weapon on it. It's pretty much Dark Souls. And then, you know, I catch a ballista bolt in my spine, and I die. Cool, thanks, good. I didn't summon another supposedly helpful spirit the entire time that I played that game. Reaching back in time to Final Fantasy XI, when the witch and I would play together, her on a healer because that's what she preferred at the time, and me on whatever else because I've always preferred whatever else. The people that would petition us for a party would frequently negotiate with her, and you know, she was the one that was in more demand until I started playing tanks anyway. Even then, healers are in higher demand in MMOs. And she would tell them that she wasn't alone. They'd agree to take me along too, and then they would field an invite to her and her alone, hoping that they could comfortably exclude me due to whatever dipshit myths they'd conjured up that week. And like, also operating on the notion that once they invited her, she was in, there was no getting out. She could just press no thank you and take her pick of another group. I don't know how it is they arrived at these conclusions, but, you know, some of those were, like, you remember when Dragoons were useless, the whole LOL drag thing? Then it was that Paladins were substandard tanks, and still later it was that Rangers did too much damage and were impossible to tank for. It didn't matter what I picked, I couldn't win. Because, you know, hey, the flavor of the month kept changing, and it was always dictated by the whims of a fucking Adderall-addicted 14-year-old. Fast forward, you know, we get to WildStar for a little while, and though the game relied on, like, the Trinity setup, I would consistently have DPS that would run ahead, pull enormous groups, and then complain that we didn't help them, and should. This is a quote by the way. I'm gonna say this exactly the way that it's spelled. We should feller stoip for das tat pull. I don't know what that means to this day, and it haunts me. In Final Fantasy XIV, I was once told that I couldn't expect someone to pay attention to what they were doing in the video game that they were playing because they had a vagina. This one seems fake, right? It seems like I'm making that up. Observe. I've blocked out the names because, you know, don't do that. All of my experiences are fucking real. I wish I was creative or interesting enough to make this shit up. I am not. So when someone comes and tells me, we'll put this away. I can't look at it. I keep reliving the moment in my head. So when someone tells me that, you know, maybe it's that I could afford to be a little bit more social and I should give the community a chance, really, they're great, and my experiences are largely what you just saw and what you just heard, I have a hard time believing that, and I have a hard time believing anything else these people tend to tell me. I don't know. Well, there's probably going to be more thoughts on that as we go forward, as like ideas continue to crystallize and become communicable. The ideas are there, but you know, we've already witnessed me skip ahead in basic sentences. God help us all if I attempted to do, you know, anything more than basic commentary in a stream of consciousness style. I think that's it. I think you're free of the preamble now. We fucked with the levels for Lost Planet 2. We're gonna hope that that works out. Let's find out, shall we? Let's get some noise. It's gotta run through it. You have to tell me everything that it's been doing. We'll see if we can get some visuals. I'm waiting for that thumbs up. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Pi. Pi, as always, co-hosting with me. His contributions, myriad and important. Alright. So we left off... Well, not as this guy. Where's our temp? Where'd he go? There he is. He's excited. We left off last time having just witnessed the Harbingers of Nevik being revealed as clones of Yuri's dad. I'm sure this was stunning. I just kind of scratched my head. Maybe Yuri himself was a clone. We don't know. We are Wayne-less. We are also conspicuously Joe-less. You would think that the true protagonist of the series, you know, the guy that solved the problem, would be around still. It hasn't been all that long since Wayne. But, no dice. We did wind up with a whole bunch of these, and I promised you that we would see this again. Every time that you spin this, it doesn't matter where it is you stop it, it's already determined. Like, the die has already been cast, and the result is in. You're just waiting for the animation to finish. So, the way that I would suggest you spend your credits that pile up in order to get, a reminder, items that behave differently and sometimes are upgrades for your actual loadout in the actual game. It's based on this slot machine. You gotta do this. And you just mash the enter key, or return if your keyboard is old, until the credits go down. Most of what you're going to unlock are titles and emotes. Sometimes it's abilities. Usually it's titles and emotes. Okay, we've done it. Excellent. The V device irritates me. We now have a shield that's painted red and has some kind of characters on it. Oh. It's sad. We won't be using the shield SP2. God, yeah, that's unfortunate. We also unlocked the revolver. That's a short-range weapon, I guess. Oh, we unlocked the gold revolver. I have no idea how that behaves. Fuck it, right? We got the plasma gun, we got rifle 2, we got the plasma gun SP. These things all have variants. The SP fires smaller bolts faster. We also unlocked the gold rifle. We're just going to use the regular plasma gun. Same thing with the plasma cannon. We'll experiment here. Alright. We're ready. We're still taking it easy. Hopefully we can continue taking it easy. We're gonna create our game. We want episode 3, sorry, chapter 1. Our difficulty and all that shit's gonna remain the same, because this is pretty casual. We're gonna meet my favorite faction. Went and found it is Waysiders, not Striders. I'm still not dressed for this.
These jobs ain't getting any easier.
Hey, check on the others up top, would you?
This was supposed to be an easy gig. Just smash and grab. Sneak into a town of rich-ass carpetbaggers and rip as much of their thermal energy as I could. In and out. That was the plan. Everything was planned right down to the last detail. But the fact of the matter was that we just weren't ready to handle them. Carpetbaggers on our own turf. We paid for that mistake. We're not even halfway home. Now, we just lost another man.
Oh, so tragic.
We lost half our men.
Oh, hang on.
4 days worth of thermal energy.
It does seem low.
Nothing, I guess.
Not really, we probably could have,
Price, if you ask me.
yeah, just hunted some bugs.
Now, though, gotta just keep moving on.
My bones ain't gonna be able to take much more of this rattling. How much longer till we're there?
Come on, man. No, it's a 36-hour ride.
Damn, that's a long-ass time.
Yeah. Long-ass time.
These textures look rough on the HD displays. Anyway, here's the sand thing. Of course, you know, we're not applauding the writing here. You can if you want, Lost Things. I won't. It's freaking huge.
How is that possible? We're not even carrying that much thermal energy.
I see some screen tearing. We might need to try turning VSync back on. We'll find out. That guy ate it hard.
Battle stations! Get to your battle stations!
So yeah, the Waysiders. Not a huge fan of the writing. The premise is fine. That these guys just kind of aren't very good. They try hard, but they're just not the best at what it is they're doing. Get out of the way. I have to prepare this. There we go. It's mostly that their whole aesthetic is pretty grubby. And we're waiting for it to show up. There we go. Bye. Give me this. Give me this. And this stage kind of just shakes out like this. We move from spot to spot. We do our best to hold off the Cat G Acrid here. Not much I can do when it gets that close. But it eats the train as we play. There we go. We'll get that ready in case it pops up on the side there. Nope. There we go. And it plays, you know, like a level long boss fight. We have our victory gauge running. Good thing. And that's pretty much how it is that you play this. You do your best to anticipate and prepare and kind of have stuff ready to go as quick as you can. Nope. Nope, just too far away. Alright. And of course, given that the arena is what it is, it's fine to just kind of abandon things if they're used or lost. There we are. There we go. And we just kind of keep doing this. You notice I'm not chasing those boxes. It's because it's very easy to fall off the train. And of course that's bad for the battle gauge. We can't have that. The gauge. But I do believe the things that miss the train get automatically collected, because I've typically finished this with way more bits than I feel like I've actually collected. Yeah, we're too close to that. Okay. We left them in the dust. They've been dusted. That was a weird dance my dude did. I guess I was holding an angle that they didn't quite understand. Oh, you can have it.
Thermal energy's loaded. Get on the chopper.
Okay. Time to go. We can stick around and sling more things at him, but there's not really a reason to. Job's done, you know? We can grab some spare ammunition, though. We're gonna need that in a little bit. There we are. Of course. You know the pose we strike.
We're too heavy. We're gonna need a few minutes to divert power to the engines.
Can you cut the rear section loose?
I'll try.
Alright, they're cutting the rear section. And I'm gonna drink this coffee because, like I said, we've come prepared this time.
Damn it!
And there we go. The worm ate the train. Let's see how we did. Oh no, that I guess they don't auto-collect. Huh. Weird. I suppose I just picked up more than I thought I'd past times I played through this. Anyway, a 66% gets you an A. About 5 minutes. 200 credits.
We've been flying around for hours. No clue as to where we are or which direction to go. We've already used up all that thermal energy we snagged.
You'd think we could follow the dust cloud, if it's just
Set this thing down.
grinding along the tracks.
There's some kind of abandoned settlement down there. We're running on fumes, so no one gets to vote on this. Someone's shooting at us!
Well, it wasn't abandoned, was it?
Brace yourself! We're going down!
Honestly, the dialogue is the biggest problem, I think, with the Waysiders set up. This is a fine enough premise for a story, isn't it? A job gone wrong, you know, a heist that's been kind of fucked up, and now it's sort of its own little war movie.
Man down! Snipers! We're surrounded!
The people you stole from are not happy.
We're under attack! Find cover!
You and your squadron must fight your way out of enemy territory. That's a fine setup. There's nothing about that that doesn't make sense.
They could be anywhere.
Or falls apart on, you know, a fundamental level. And to keep things within the developer, we'll nod to Resident Evil that, as our example of falls apart on a fundamental level. You know, we have a corporation that has manufactured these terrible monstrosities, and no one seems to be able to answer why, or who let them do that. And they've stripped our equipment from the last thing. Okay, well. Hey, my bad for not noticing. Let me grab this. Uh-huh. We'll get to it. Ooh, he was waiting for me. Okay. Well, that's fine. Oh, and with a VS rifle. Ouch. No wonder that was unpleasant. Oh, my boys are following me, that's why I'm seeing shadows. There we go. That solves that problem. Oh, and those complete turds just left all of this thermal energy from the VS out there. We weren't fast enough to get it. Oh well. Anyway, this is a look, at least, at a faction that doesn't ever really get mentioned, like, by name. These desert pirates that live here have just a completely different look to anyone else that I've seen. And then we don't ever talk about them again. Oh, that guy's way up on the roof. There we are. And as usual, we are reducing their battle gauge at the bottom. And then something else will happen.
Okay, now's our chance. We'll use that train to get the hell out of here.
Okay. So our solution is to steal another train. But remember when we compared this to Monster Hunter with guns? Still true. And we're gonna need something heavier for that. Here we have these Acrid ? These guys that detect things via their head sonar. They're significantly more lizard-like than other Acrid, aren't they? They're also completely blind, so if you hold still, they can't find you. But they do this. And fire those sonic blasts that destroy buildings. My man, not now. And they themselves destroy buildings. There we are. Which puts it in a stun state, which allows me to, you know, pull my Monster Hunter bullshit. And then there was one. Now my friends are over there, getting just the shit kicked out of them by that thing. That's their own fault. They shouldn't have been over there. I have no sympathy for them. We are very clearly doing other shit right now. I know, Pi. There we are. Smooth as butter. It was smooth as butter, though. I have hunted a monster or two in my time, sir. I'm sure you could have done it faster. And with less casualties, or whatever the fuck.
Get on the train!
Jeez. We've made our escape. One train got eaten. Our helicopters got shot down. But we stole their train. Also, unfortunately, that's the only time that we see Acrid quite like that. I would have liked this to just continue being sci-fi Monster Hunter. It didn't evolve that way, though. 50% get you an A. We want those boxes. We want those credits. There we go. It's another train level. Sometimes it be like that.
You see that train?
I see it. It's challenging me with not losing any men. That's not likely. And what we have to do is exactly what you're seeing. We have a train. It's somewhat bullet resistant. Theirs is bigger. They have all kinds of shit on their armored convoy that they're running. Deer Spring, super happy with my shooting. I would say that it's about average, my man. There's really no need for that kind of celebration, but thank you. So, it's just us in here versus all of them out there. And what we have to do is, you know, survive this and kind of try to solve problems on their end before they become big problems for us. Like, you know, what's making that explosion? Because even if the explosion itself doesn't kill you, it's likely to knock you out of the train, which does kill you instantly. And there it is. Oh man, that's close. We'll try to use a more powerful weapon for that in the future. Of note, our opposition will also, you know, fling rocket launchers and stuff at us in order to attempt to do exactly what you've seen there. He's telling me I won't get away with this. But I think there's a chance that I might. If my teammates don't put a shield in front of my firing arc, that is. Looking at you, bud. Alright. So this is a VS rifle. I don't typically use it on VSs all that much because, well, I like more mobile stuff on my platforms, and this isn't well suited to protracted fights. It is quite powerful, and it's primarily what I use to knock out those turrets as well as their attack drones, and eventually their own flying VSs, which I don't know that we should even call them VSs, but we do. It's not really a suit, you know, it's just a helicopter. I believe there's one more turret. And that's kind of what I'm waiting for. That's a problem. No, it's not gonna let me do that, huh? Okay. Well, we've only got 2 rounds in this, and there's that other turret I was talking about. We'll just have to wait for the actual vulnerable part to come into view. Now, get out of here. Is there one more turret there? I might be crazy. No, just this guy. Well, there's that. I've done that now. Could have sworn. There may in fact still be. No, you guys got him. Nice. Good job. Just plain missed on that. That's something of note, is that, like, the train moving does affect the trajectory of your shots, which was a cool detail. I appreciate that they took that into account, that someone thought about 2 objects in motion and how that would affect shooting between those objects. You gotta lead it just a little bit in the direction of the train. Oh, no casualties. I'm stunned. Excellent job, boys. Give me this, though. I'm gonna want that. I'm gonna want this. Because, our next thing is that we're gonna fucking get on their train. There it is. Don't worry, we don't actually have to make that jump. The first time I played through this, I thought I did, and I leapt to my death. But no, it gets done this way. Would have been cool to just have that converge and, you know, grapple on. Instead, observe this impossible heroism, and we got time to pose. It's Capcom, we always have time to pose. Even if we're wondering where everyone has gone, and suspecting that they may have gone to bingo. Alright. That's our job. We gotta activate posts. We gotta take control of the railway gun. We got some things here that can help us. You know, they were nice enough to leave their guns all over the place. That's pretty cool of them. But we are still fighting on trains. Makes her a very linear level, but I think the setting and the notion of, like, this entire sequence is cool enough that it, you know, the linearity of the level doesn't bother me too much. It's a little bit of a, you know, like a Western robbery, right? Even if the AI is kind of dumb. Kind of super dumb. That's okay, I forgive them. There we are. Post 1. It's what we want. It's what we need. There's one of those revolvers. I don't remember what this does. We'll try it. Why not? No, and I've picked up disc grenades at some point. Alright, well. We've reloaded it, and it takes up the short-range slot, so I'm wondering if I'm not just too far. Maybe it's very powerful and I just don't know it. Give me that. Oh, someone dropped off the side. We'll take this with us. It's a handy toy to have. This is also a level that kind of makes you think about the size of the VSs and how practical they are or aren't given the situations that you're in. Because I'm on a stomp truck on a train shooting at tank cannons. This would be difficult to maneuver under, like, any circumstances in any tight corridors or spaces, but it's doubly so when what you're walking on is basically a tightrope for the sort of thing that you're using. Alright. We're here. We've got... that's quite powerful. Yeah. Yeah. Revolver, it works. It doesn't seem to function much differently than the shotgun, though, of course, you know, I'm sure there's documentation that says, no, it's actually blah 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 blah. Ow. I've been Capcom locked. Oh well. We'll respawn right there. And won't that be a shock? I'm sorry, did I not get that point? Okay, I guess I did not get that point. Let me go and reclaim my stuff. Here. I'll dress like a real idiot. Theirs is painted in desert camouflage. Let's make sure that we're not blowing ourselves to Kingdom Come if we see anything. Yeah, I guess it starts you with disc grenades. It assumes that you would have picked those up. Right, so, where was I? Okay, I was nudged gently. We'll find out by what. Anyway, as you can see, like I said, it's easy to fall off the train. And we see dudes spawn in. That time I got nudged while I was mid-grapple, which is odd. There you go. Oh, I see. You did it. You stuck your arm through the train. Mystery solved. Okay. The other thing to note about falling off the train is that once you've done so, the stuff that you were carrying, that is gone. It's only when you die, you know, normal style. We were one click off. There may be a thermal generator in there. I might want that. Is there a way in normal style, or do we have to get kooky? Looks like we would have to get real kooky. I don't know that I'm feeling that. I want it, but not that bad, you know? Okay, yeah. That's what that is. So these things give you free thermal energy. That's cool. It'll be easier getting out of here than it was getting in. I suppose I also could have, like, boarded this and shot the cannon's munitions, maybe. Maybe that's a weak spot. Anyway, now we know. It's one of those helicopters. I believe the boys had shot it down before. And we got trouble ahead. Let's see. We should be able to drop down and get inside here, and maybe there will be some tools. Ah, he could smell me. Yeah. Oh, I'm being harangued from outside. Alright. Is that still operational? It's going to shoot at me exclusively. Yeah. Yeah. Ignores the NPCs. Okay. Well, that's fine. We have contingency plans for this. It's walk truck. That's the whole plan. Because walk truck can kind of reach him from over here if we're, you know, careful with our jumps. There we go. Oh man, that dust storm got thick, huh? Alright. Here we are. We're up here. I'm going for this helicopter, because being able to fly in this level is really, really good. They won't get in. There's pilots in a gunner's seat here. And the control scheme is strange in that 1 and 4 are rise and fall. 1 to go down, 4 to go up. Yeah. Anyway, we got here in under 10 minutes, which is something, I guess. And it looks like my boys took the point. Ah, but the worm is back. And what was it chasing but this railway gun, which Acrodex tried to eat. It's our railway gun now. And the machine needs to be fed.
Warning. Category G Hagrid detected. Activating emergency response protocol. Verify Chimera system initialization.
We'll need some of this.
Chimera system initialization criteria verified. Stand by.
Now this entire train basically counts as one great big co-op VS.
System initialization confirmed. Prepare to negate Category G Hagrid threat.
Your friends, or you alone in this case, must load the shell.
Fire. Main cannon. Initial cobalt loaded. Dragon fire operating system. Shell shock activation. Cobalt loaded.
As it begins to charge, you must charge the shell by operating this console. That boosts its damage. And then turn and fire the weapon.
Begin thermal energy charging procedure. Cobalt thermal energy charge will increase firing.
There we are. We're charged again.
Cobalt loaded.
And sometimes the AI cooperates, sometimes I have to go and get the shells myself. We'll see. We'll see how they do this time. So far, it's like clockwork.
Energy charging procedure. Thermal energy charge will increase firing speed.
He fucked off. So, we may as well.
Cobalt loaded. Begin Dragonfire shell.
There it is.
Shells will be automatically.
There are consoles where you can turn this basically 90 degrees. Those are at the front. Honestly, I don't think it's 90. It might be 30-some, it might be 45. Never really tested and measured. We're looking for the worm. Oh, there it is. Found him. Hey. Don't touch my train. There we are. We've charged again. There it is. And yeah, every time I do this, it takes thermal energy. But it boosts that, which is cool. We want boosts. That's too close. You're being a dick. It can be hard to tell if you've actually made impact sometimes. Or rather, if you've hit your target, I should say. There we are. We're loading. My NPCs seem to have... Oh, there's one. Hey, dude. Nice of you to join me. Yeah, he's giving us the bump. That time we hit him. Alright. So in order to repair this, well, we would have to go down here into its innards and activate these consoles at the side.
Cooling units operational. Shell shock system cooling unit operational is now possible.
That restores our health. There we are. Devil Roar. That's a different kind of combination shell. I believe there are different shells that do different things. Of course, I don't know what the fuck does what. I believe this is a cobalt we've got. I know those seem to be the standard shells. No, it fucked off. Oh no, there we go. Hey friend, yeah, open wide. Don't touch my train. So now we're loading a Devil Roar. I don't know that I've ever seen or thought about what this does. That seems like a more sure shot. That may have been some kind of like canister round.
Devil Roar loaded in Dragonfire shell loading procedure. Automatically chambered upon insertion.
Yeah, yeah. We are energized. If you hear me slapping the mouse around, it's because the thing here turns very, very slow. And you have to kind of pick up your mouse and reorient the entire whole fucking thing in order to swipe over enough times to get the machine to turn. You're supposed to use the consoles, but that means I can't really aim it precisely. Oh, hey. And like in this instance, it may have been faster to use the console. I don't know, probably. Bye. sick. And of course, with friends, it's then much easier to turn the thing while someone's energizing and while another person's going and getting something loaded and all that. I always thought it was a cool idea for a sequence. I believe he's burrowing, so we'll just sort of let that happen. Alright, one more hit. We've got one primed and ready, just for him. Oh, there's also a crane at the back that speeds up loading. Oh, it's coming up behind us. There we go. Ah. We did it.
Cannon turret rotation procedure enabled. Manual increase of rotation speed if possible.
We have a number of these things. These boxes, pockets of thermal energy. But we must wave goodbye to the worm. Goodbye, worm.
We hit the mother lode, gentlemen. You're gonna love us back home.
Ah, but now it's chilly again. Boy, it seems every time we knock one of those off, it gets real chilly.
Yeah. It's strange. They're close to home.
I agree, Pi. It doesn't make sense. If we're releasing thermal energy into the air, why would it get cold?
Where the hell is our home? Are you telling me the snow buried an entire town?
What the hell with this shit? I'm gonna blow that son of a bitch to Kingdom Come!
I'm not sure how we arrived at the conclusion that that orb is responsible, but it turns out there is bits of city in it.
I am so gonna shoot the shit out of you!
The player character is very angry in this. They're gonna shoot the shit out of that thing. We are too. That is where we're going for the climax of the game. That's a B. That's fair. It took us a long time, and you know, I was a little bit fiddly. Open our boxes. 7,400 credits. Next episode. Now we've been saved. That's what they asked for. The episode's clear, so we're saved now. Next up is just Counter-Strike. That's the name of the episode. So we quit that job because it sucked, and now we're doing this.
We're almost there.
What's the status?
It's not promising. Activity over the past 2 weeks has exceeded our projections.
Open her up.
Now, who else do we know that wore this distinctive black and white getup?
We're fairly certain that the activity last night of the Category G Acrid known as Red Eye triggered the appearance of this creature.
I never imagined it would have an impact like this.
This thing makes a Category G look like a kitten. I have difficulty believing something on this scale is occurring naturally.
Whatever Nevik is doing must be affecting it.
Without a doubt. If it reaches its final form, the increase in thermal energy usage would trigger another ice age.
How much time is there?
2 weeks, tops. Probably less.
But time is not a luxury we have.
It certainly isn't. Episode 4 Counter-Strike. Yeah, but it's theorized that this guy... we'll let him talk.
As we speak.
Have we made contact with the team that was captured?
We've been arrested for our many crimes.
What intel do they have that we need to risk so much to break them out?
It concerns the weapons Nevik is using to mop up any and all dissidents on EDN-3. If we can get our hands on that intel, then we'll know how to bring an end to the conflict that's engulfed this planet.
So we're actually gonna go head to head with them?
I can't see any alternative. What they're doing will be catastrophic for all life on this planet.
For all life on the planet, Pi. I know. It's hard to believe.
It's okay. I'm on your side.
And I should trust you because...
Because I arranged to bring your friends here.
Those aren't my friends, those are my employers. Alright. Well, give me the gun.
You! What do you think you're doing over there? Hey!
Well, he died. After telling my boss I've been arrested. Anyway, it's, Yes, I can. Dev Bude. It's a real kind of interesting thing that they do there with the Nevik commander. And I say interesting in that it's possibly the only connective tissue between this and Lost Planet 1. We only know of one guy that wears that kind of black and white colored Nevik uniform, and that would be Joe. We never call him that. It's never confirmed one way or the other. I kind of wish it would have been. It would have been a nice through line, but we didn't. We only refer to him as Old Man, and I think it's maybe been 10-ish years, somewhere around there, since Wayne's Rampage. So, assuming even that Joe was in his 40s, he'd only be in his 50s. That's not that old. Anyway, I say that would have been nice because Joe is, of course, the guy at the end of Lost Planet who actually saved the planet from being destroyed while Wayne sought revenge. To see that he was still out here and doing stuff would have been nice. Come to think of it, that's another common thread between these. The flinch on that has really become a problem. You'll notice that we're using a weapon that we kind of haven't seen before. It's the handgun. It sucks. You basically must get headshots with it, or don't bother. There we go. Now we got something. And we got a revolver, but yeah. Not my first choice. Still better than the handgun. Anyway, it's something that both this and Dead Space have in common, is that our lead is bad at doing lead character things. We haven't gotten to that part in Dead Space just yet. So far, Isaac has been everything you would expect out of your typical Space Marine main character. I guess I should also probably clarify that I don't think typical Space Marine main characters are bad. I like them. They're fun. It's perfectly fine to do that. Just be honest about what you're doing, you know? Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining, and don't tell me this is an engineer when what you mean is Space Marine. That guy led us on a merry little chase, didn't he? Here's a helicopter that crashed. I assume it was ours, and that's why they put me in fucking jail. Also the murder. I'm sure all of the murders had something to do with it. Anyway, of course, this is the second of one of those, like, close quarters sorts of things. I still like it in this game. I don't much care for it in DS1. This just, despite being a lot more rudimentary, seems to handle it better. Do I need to go up there? Or is that below me? I assume that's below me. Yeah, that's the weapons cabinet. Okay. Down the stairs we go. Because, yeah, all kinds of stuff like that can happen, and there's enough time for the player to realize that, oh no, I'm in a very bad position, and kind of move out of the way, you know, do something about that. It's not the same as opening a door and then finding that, well, you been had. And here comes, you know, this fucking thing that if you haven't been playing defensively and paying very close attention to your own personal kind of durability. Dude, get out of the way. Bud. I'm trying to get the thermal energy from this thing. I would like it. There we go. That's what I wanted. I don't know exactly how powerful this gun is. Killed that guy. Got that too. No, there's just the dude with the chain gun. We are going to get docked points for our casualty right here. Again, not by me, but definitely by my friends. They have been eating it left and right. Oh hey, explosives. I'll need those. We got all the data posts. And there are some other spots that we haven't broken into yet. Like this one, which has something quite handy. I'm going to need this. Thank you. One of these poor unfortunates was still using a handgun. But, you know, I can't be held responsible for what the NPCs do and do not pick up, right? Alright. We're making an escape. There we go. Now in here, we're going to see some VSs spawn. There's one dude in a turret down here which I would like to deal with prior to getting in that room. And we can do that nice and easy with the plasma gun, just like that. And then there will be two bleed VSs, one with kind of energy lance and one with munitions. And again, we're looking to get good angles on them, but I don't know that they trigger until I'm in the room. Yeah, there's the one with the munitions, which means his friend with the lance, yeah. That's a weapon we haven't gotten our hands on yet, but we'll show it off. It's a better pile bunker, is about the way that I would put it. I don't believe you have to reload it, and you can also do like this sweeping thing with its moveset. If I try to get up over here where they have what looks like a gallows, the helicopter falls down. Here it comes. There it is. We're definitely not using that. Okay. This is a monster closet. I believe they have more in there too. Yeah. Yeah, it's looking like it's the end, bud. Okay. Well, we're breaking out of prison. We've done it. Now it says we got a silver. We're striking a pose. You know the pose. So apparently silver is for S. Or vice versa. S is for silver. You know, that'll happen. We'll see if it happens less as I actually speak more. You know, it's one thing to be alone with your own thoughts. It's another to try to verbalize them. And it has been a bit since I've had to verbalize really any. Okay. Well, you know what? That do it? That did it. And there's a crate there. Let's see what's in it. Oh, it's an extermination challenge. Well, don't mind if I do. That time the throbbing masses blocked my shot twice. Not 3 times, though. We had to shoot earlier. Give me that. And give me that. And what have you got here? Oh, just the revolver. I don't know that I care for the revolver. How about you guys? I'm not sure what the difference is between the normal revolver and, say, the golden one that we unlocked. That's all kind of a mystery to me. My man over here is just getting sloppy in here with the bugs. I don't know what his thought process is exactly. He seems determined. Well, yeah, dude. Don't go in there. It's bad. Or I guess be prepared to just sort of hack your way through it, right? Yeah, there you go. Give me this. Give me this. Have we come full circle? Was it just that armor there? Looks like it might have been. Alright, yeah, sure. I'll take it. Move, now I'm twice as impractical. Yeah. Now we have this squid-like acrid. This, if I'm not mistaken, can also one-shot kill the player. It has this thing where it just sort of eats you. Yeah. Like, it just eats you. There's 2 others of that sort somewhere in the sewers, and it's a good boy point to go ahead and deal with those, so we're gonna try to deal with those. Oh, no. No. Yeah. I just wanted the ammunition. And I do want that other fucking goopster. There they are. You might have to get eaten by the creature. You know? That's just the way the cookie crumbles, Mike. Ow. It gave me a goodbye slap. go. We want this other data post. Now all the posts are online. We've got that good boy point. We're loaded. We're ready. We got a few more grenades. What's in this crate? A VS chain gun. That's okay. I don't really need that. The last of the goopsters crawls out of that when I touch this. That's not the goopster. That's just another wall sphincter. They follow us all over the place. Now they're present. Well, I don't want to give it thermal energy. I just want to shoot at it. Let's see if I get eaten this time. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it knows how to come directly at me when I'm at that angle. Got hung up on geography. Alright, we've done it. The area is complete. Thank you, Pi. So yeah, I appreciated that they kind of got a little bit more creative with their bug designs. Not that their bug designs were bad to begin with, and, you know, they're identifiable at a glance. And I'm not just looking at endless meat. Just meat forever. Alright, we gotta fight off enemy VSs. Because now we're in the city streets, continuing our prison escape. Gimme, gimme. We'll see what's in here. Because what we're looking for is, you know, some kind of plasma weapon. That would be great. A dummy grenade. I don't even know what this does. Oh. That's what that does. Okay, well, sure. Now, does this just distract them, or does this actually... Oh, no, it attacks. Okay. It seems to just point it wherever. Oh, and it can damage me. Interesting. Well, now I know. Well, disc grenades are probably the better call. It's just more practical. There we are. That's one VS. I would like the plasma cannon, but we did keep our plasma gun from earlier. I guess I was a little bit too close to that VS. That's okay. We have this wall of turrets up here, but we know turrets have control panels. Well, control spots. Control balls? They're not really boxes. The game classifies those little things as their own VS. I don't know that that's quite sane, but sure. It seems to me that the term VS came to mean, at least internally, just any old goddamn thing that was mechanical in nature. Alright, we got another plasma gun. We got another dollop of thermal energy. I've been blown up. I see. Did y'all get him? Looks like you got him. I'm just gonna choose to believe they got him. My man Trauma Switch over there doing as close to nothing as possible. Alright. There we go. Yeah, he's just straight not interested, huh? You couldn't give a fuck, could you, Trauma Switch? Come on. Come on, it's wake up time. If you can get in there, there's some more armor. There's also a plasma cannon, which I would like. That would be cool. Oh man, and a turret. And Capcom lock. And we died. It wasn't a plasma cannon, it's just a plasma gun. Oh, but Trauma Switch made it, so don't worry. That's a mess. I'm gonna try to make it less of a mess. This is also over here for our use. Because they have a spider mech. And we know that spider mech can be pretty hardcore. We've been in one. Well, I should say Wayne has been in one. We haven't been that lucky. Alright. There. There are a couple other options that you can sort of rush to. You know, they got that guy there. Oh, somebody picked up my plasma cannon. Ain't that the way. No, I don't want to move the VS weapon. I just want the... There we go. Yeah, but there's another one over here. Well, no harm, no foul. That's what we want. I forget if there's continuity in this stage or not. These boats are also worth thermal energy. Or they were. Maybe I was mistaken. It's been several years. We see the return of these immovable VS weapons. This one's got that cannon, kind of like the spider mech did. Functions in the same way. This one's got a lot of fucking ammo on it, though. Well, let's see if it'll let me ride it in here. Yeah, do you guys want to open the fucking door? No, don't worry. I'll get it. I'll get it. Unreal fuckery. Unreal. Jackasses. We've seen them open doors in the past. That time they just didn't wanna. That's a B. Get 100, get a B. Spa. That is what it spells, Pi. You can protest if you want, but that's what it spells. Alright, now we're somewhere else. They've stripped us of our stuff, so, you know, that was all for naught. Oh well.
Activating them will help me guide you out of there.
Now we have another one of my favorite kind of bits for this game, is that they just sort of give us this playing field to fuck with. Again, I'm sure it's a repurposed multiplayer map, but it also works nicely as a single player map, because it is just fuck around zone. There's things in spots, there's space to move, there's tight corridors, there's big open spots, there's something to facilitate every playstyle. This is good level design. And there was a point in time when Capcom was exceptional at this shit. I don't know if that's necessarily true anymore. They've certainly gotten better at, like, their cinematic framing. Won't dispute that for a second. Like the new reveal of G. Birkin. Looks good. looks good. You know, you have them loom up behind you as you're talking to this scared little girl and everything, and turn around, there's this monster. Someone paid attention to what films are doing and went, oh, okay, so there's a reason that they do shit that way. And of course technology has caught up with them enough to allow them to do that shit as well. But as far as their level design itself goes, I don't know. A lot of the acclaim that they're getting seems to be coasting off like the old glory of their old stuff. We gotta fight off some enemy VSs while we're here. And, you know, they still did it. They're still those guys that did that. But it's a shame not to see them continue to do that, you know? It seems to me that a lot of the attention to detail that used to go into making their levels has fallen by the wayside. Monster Hunter World, as much as I love it, I don't really find the environments that I was put in memorable. They existed, and I moved through them, and I killed monsters in them, but it's woods, and then also woods, and then woods again, and some of them are woods that you can fall off of, and that's sort of that. Now, one of these chests is going to have a plasma cannon in it, and that's going to make the later phases of this, as we continue to escalate our escape attempt, much easier. Go still. Yeah, there we go. Got it on one. Plasma gun, good. Plasma cannon, better. There we go with the anchor. We got there. Let's switch back to the other thing. And yeah, what I'm drawing up on in here is another one of those hard points. That's a real pain if you approach it wrong. But there's so much space to do so much shit that you can approach it in a better direction and from a better angle and not grind yourself against otherwise kinda shitty odds. And just to hammer home my point on how much I like this level's design, let me show you the actual approach. So, it's set up to defend this point here. You would come up from your initial spot there, going, oh, well, the second one is only up here. Let's try to get in it. You might end up here, staring down all of that. Now, it does have cover so that you can kind of think about what you want to do, and retreat if you feel necessary. Maybe you go right for the control point. You've got that there to help you deal with some of it. Maybe you decide to circle around altogether. It's, you know, it's stuff like that that I don't really see too often in new games. If it's a game that is telling me that it's the only way to determine whether or not I'm a full-grown man or a weak, sick baby girl, if I can beat this game, I will be ushered into the halls of godhood. Then those choke points will be unannounced and unmarked, with no room for you to make a decision. You'll simply get swatted dead, and, you know, that's that, try again. Maybe next time learn how to smell what game developers are cooking before you take a bite. Or the game is so by the numbers that there isn't any consideration given to like any control points, and what you end up with is a corridor, meat-laden or otherwise, of dudes that just sort of run into your bullets with no real danger to you or to anything you're doing, or in fact to the potentially fragile ego of the person playing it. much as I like Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, it is absolutely the latter there. I just kind of hold down the kill it button, and then I do, and the game says, "You big tough boy," and I say, "That's not necessary, but thank you for letting me play this." Of course, we also know that Destiny is extremely guilty of heaping praise where it's undeserved. We see someone using another grenade that we haven't quite had our hands on yet. That's the acid grenade, and it's like an area denial kind of thing. Ooh, that guy got very close. It showers the whole region that it hits in acid. Damn it. To be honest, I haven't even seen an acid grenade laying around, so I'm sure it's something that I would have to get out of the Lost Planet slot machine. So, again, an entire kind of tool is locked because I haven't spun the wheel enough, or, you know, I'm just intrinsically not lucky. It doesn't... I hate that mechanic so much, but you've heard enough about that. At least for right now. I'll dig it up again later, whenever it rears its head again in yet another game. Or if, God forbid, someone starts a conversation with me. Can you imagine? There we go. So we've had at their VSs. Because again, plasma cannon good. It does short, it does long, it does area, it does person. Oh, that was another dummy grenade. I just saw a shape and fired on it, so I guess they got me. You can kind of wait in there and scrape up some of the stuff that the VS has left behind. Damn it. Now those we do have. We got access to plasma grenades. Another one in from on high. Mike just losing his mind. Alright. Trauma switch 2. I apologize for all of like the leapfrog plasma gunning here. It's a habit from like Quake. And a lot of those old habits die very, very, very hard. It is effective in this game though. There's better strategies, I'm sure, but it served me just fine. Oh, yes please. Oh hey dude. KTE, you know, we're on Wayne Planet. We're working under what might be Commander Joe. So there's hope yet. We got an A. And I was just talking about level design and how Capcom kind of sort of doesn't do that anymore. They do set dressing real well. Like their sets they build look excellent. But their levels are as far as playing through them or navigating them. You kind of just go where you gotta go. This is one of those, but it's got like a gimmick at the end. I won't even say an interesting one. It's just a gimmick. Which is more than we had. Oh, we gotta fight off the bumblebees. got that guy in a turret. But first I want this map. Fuck off. Also fuck off. Yeah, you know, it would be nice to think that someone is watching over us, and Joe was the protagonist of the first game. Regardless of all the adventures we had with Wayne, there was someone who did save the planet. And this, of course, for anyone watching later, you know, a chat member has said, hey, Commander Joe might be beneficial. Okay, cool. A new guy has said that my strategy, if it's not using Machine Gun 2 and a couple of other things, I want to say firearms too, then the strategy is poo-poo. I'll use my poo-poo strategy.
Commandeer one of the dock subs.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, no, I never involved myself in the fucking Lost Planet multiplayer. Fuck that, dude. That's a mess. No, when this was a thing, what was it? Lost Planet 2, 2011, I want to say? Pretty sure I was doing nothing but Team Fortress 2 if I wanted to just kind of show up in a lobby and shoot boys. 2010. Okay. Yeah, and when the fuck was Team Fortress 2? It had to have been like 09-ish, right? Okay, yeah. I was knee deep in Team Fortress 2. Nah, if a game isn't sort of built around it and you shoehorn a competitive multiplayer into it, I typically just avoid it. And it's Lost Planet, you know.
All of you, get aboard the sub.
Oh, yeah, so he's relaying to me the tales of Lost Planet 2's competitive multiplayer mode, where it sounds like they would basically just exploit damage and then reap the benefits of crossing their eyes and holding mouse 1 down and never paying attention to anything else ever in their lives. Yikes. Yeah, I believe that would be kind of the case here. It's, like I said, it's not built for it to begin with. So I don't super understand why it is that, you know, the mode existed. I guess, you know, different strokes for different folks, but fuck me. That sounds horrible. The last video, I said something about how games are supposed to be fair. And in fairness, I guess, you could have also run that exact same thing. But if a specific combination is inherently superior, well then that's the only thing everyone's going to run, and there doesn't need to be any other combination. We can reduce our game of chess to a game of checkers. And that's fine if you build the game that way. But if you don't, and your game becomes that, you are a failure. Oh, yeah, please. Yeah, I don't know about a fracture, to KTE's comment about multiplayer in these games being kind of undesirable and how it fractures things. I don't know about a fracture because, like, I never see those people anyway, so fuck them, they may as well not exist to me. Which No, we took many casualties. Apparently my boys died a bunch. Which I'm sure a lot of the individuals that would have been part of the meta of Lost Planet 2 multiplayer would be like, well, fine, you don't exist to me either. But, you know, whatever. But yeah, it just doesn't make sense here. Why? Who looks at this, plays this game, and goes, I need a fucking death match? Yes, please. Oh, the new guy, Mint Beef, was it? Okay, cool. You know, again, welcome. Now I kind of know your tag. I'll forget it several times, I promise. I'm so sorry for for the time you will never get back. Mm-hmm.
We've analyzed the intel, and now we know the location of the satellite cannon Nevik plans on using. Annihilate everything on this planet.
Yeah, KTE's comment about the single player and multiplayer balancing being just kind of a thing that doesn't happen, and this is an adventure and they should lean into that. Yeah, I agree. On that, I also think in a lot of ways that we approach game balance wrong. This is why I think it's Commander Joe. He's the only one in black and white in Lost Planet 1. And this is the black and white pattern that Joe wore. Anyway, the way that a lot of things go about, well, we'll wait until they're done expositing.
From reaching its final form. The cannon is located on the Nevik space station known as Neos.
Pi, they're expositing.
Of this operation is to storm the Nevik base.
Okay, he doesn't care.
We'll use their shuttles to get to Neos. Good luck and Godspeed. Move out.
Alright, Commander Joe has said go to space, so we're going to space. Anyway, as I was saying, the way that people approach game balance within developer communities and circles is that they try to isolate what's doing well and then make it worse. Which is incorrect. Like, that's not the way to do things. Identifying what's doing well and then making other alternatives just as effective in different ways is. And that's harder and more time-consuming, so it doesn't happen. They don't do that. It's easier to just be like, well, this one's doing too good, so I went into the hex editor or the fucking XML, and I reduced the values. And there you go. Mint Beef, never played Time Shift. Don't know anything about it. There's a bleed in there. And the thunderstorm is really not helping. There we go. On the comment on League of Legends, how when they find a champion that's overperforming, they got the stat values like I described. Yeah, I know. I worked in an office for a developer. I think I mentioned them in a previous video, but we're gonna try our best to not divulge too much information there. And I was part of a lot of those conversations, at least in passing in the lunchroom. You know, where they'd say, well, X, Y, and Z is doing really good, so I fucking have the stat contribution. And I would go, why is that your thought process? And they told me to get back to work, and I think one of them may have said something about being a QA and or code monkey. Game developer land is shit. And it's full of shit people who think that they're in the Wild West and also that they're wizards. Management was cool though, and honestly my team on QA were quite nice. But the negatives outweighed the positives. Yes, please. Oh well. Yeah, to KTE's comment about things being buffed rather than nerfed, and, you know, how sometimes something is overperforming. Sure, but that's... There comes a point in time when you're going to have to reconcile the fact that, like, the notion of overperforming is not necessarily going to hold the same value to you from the developer's chair as it would to the player. You're also going to have to come to terms with the idea that, like, you know, your game is supposed to be beaten. It's supposed to be. You want them to complete it, right? You want them to figure you out and solve the puzzle and do all the stuff, see the ending, all that other content that you invested so much time and effort in making. It's... And it's one thing to say, well, it's... You know, it was just doing too well. We needed to calm it down. No, I say elevate other things. Or include, if there isn't an effective counterplay, you need to reconsider the interaction between your elements. You can't have a play without a counterplay, and it still be a game. Oh, yes, please. Yeah, absolutely. On the good thing being good to use, yes. It's too often that a good mechanic, or a good way of doing things, rather I should say an efficient way of doing things, is not fun. It is pulling teeth, or boring, or something similar. Out of the way, man. There's a big ol' fucking walking thing here. Come on. And the only reason that it survives is that it's efficient, and people who don't know what statistics are or how to measure what a user base is doing will say, well, but it's a very popular activity. Yeah, dipshit, because there's no other fucking viable alternative. You either participate in the garbage, or you fall behind forever, and everything gets worse in your experience. But that's again not thinking that gets talked about around at least the offices of the developer I worked for in 2009 to 2011. I don't imagine they've changed much. It is unfortunately one of those things where kind of all of your worst fears are probably true. Also, hey, you know, we have an active chat today. Usually it's just me. You fools should have abandoned this place. Anyway, that's one Osprey. We're just gonna kind of keep shooting him down. We've taken the beach, now we must drive them into the sea. We gotta slurp up stuff. There we are. We're making progress. Yes, please. Mint Beef. Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad that Twitch's kind of search algorithm thing seems to work. Although I don't imagine there's many other people playing this right now. I dug it up because, yeah, I have a fondness for it. I liked the Lost Planet series a lot. I thought it was a cool setting. I liked the looks of some of their technology and some of the ideas they presented. I never thought that they, like, did super good with the execution, because it's a lot of old Capcom, you know? The story is what it is. The characterization is what it is. I would have liked bigger maps. I think I mentioned in Lost Planet 1 how I know this experience is not going to get deeper, so I would like it wider. Maybe with some more focus on, like, light survival mechanics. Those were always my favorite parts. Wandering where it is they let you wander, and then having to maintain and configure my VS on the fly and dig up equipment and all that shit. But, you know, it wasn't to be. Anyway, our mission is complete. Yes, please. Alright, some comments about how they enjoy the writing on Lost Planet 1 and 2. They're kind of their favorite third-person shooters alongside Crackdown. I'm glad you like it. It's something for somebody. Me, Nevic's goals are nebulous, and what exactly it is that we're supposed to be doing here, how far the whole thermal energy thing reaches, is also a little bit nebulous, and what we're doing with the Acrid is also, we'll say, lightly defined. The characters are one note, but that's it. Lost Planet isn't something that I ever asked to be profound, you know? The story does its job in the first one. It's fun in its own way. The story in this one is fragmented. I understand they wanted to do like a broader scale, and that's cool. As far as third-person shooters go, I don't know. I think probably Warframe is my favorite. I've played a fair amount of them. This is fun. I like it. I like it to dig up every now and again and go, ah, I was young once. There's stuff that I would fix, though. A lot of the gunplay is a little bit floaty. Some of the VSs are just straight up bad. You know, little fucking bits like that. Oh, yes, please. Mint Beef, Nevik is the big bad, and everyone else is the small bad. Yeah, pretty much. And, you know, we're not sure what anyone really wants, or how it is they plan on getting it, or why we should root for one over the other, but fuck it, it's Lost Planet. It's about as deep as Monster Hunter, and I'm okay with that. I just wish they would have continued to evolve and refine this formula. Yes, please. Oh, yeah. So, Nevik kind of winning in the end, and largely not ever answering for its crimes, and how this is sort of like a Star Wars prequel without any sequels. Yeah. Especially 3. You know, we get the story of Wayne, and there sure was a Wayne, wasn't there? He was immortal and bloodthirsty, and his brain went bad. Rip Wayne. And then there's the story of a whole bunch of these fuckers here, who also seem to be bloodthirsty but not as immortal. You know, this happens after Wayne. And the world post-Wayne is, well, a Wayne-a-dice. You murder and murder and murder and murder, and that's about it. And then Lost Planet 3 is its fucking prequel thing that Capcom likes to do because they're Capcom and they can't help themselves. I wish they hadn't done the prequel thing.
Initializing.
Oh, yeah, the question about why do I keep saying yes, please. It's because I've only got one monitor, and my partner in this endeavor, and in all endeavors, the witch, she reads these things out for me, so that, you know, I'm not tabbing back and forth on an old game that doesn't like playing well with recording software if you run it in a window. It also doesn't like playing well with, honestly, anything, period. Is that guy just in the water? You just in there, bud? Okay, well, you live there then.
Initializing.
KTE with the donation suggestion. I don't think I have the audience, the reach, or the mass appeal to make even an extra monitor's worth of money off of donations, but I appreciate the suggestion. I mean, last stream I told people that were interested in it might be fun, but I like this better, that were interested in the High Republic, the prequel to the Star Wars prequel universe, that they had baby brains. So I'm not winning any personality contests here. Oh, that's true. And I appreciate your optimism, saying, you know, that just because I don't now doesn't mean I won't ever. We'll see. This of course isn't like a project where I expected it to be paid. I'm just kind of doing shit. Hence playing Lost Planet 2 after playing Lost Planet 1, and soon to play through Dead Space 2 and 3 after playing Dead Space 1, as I compare and contrast to series that are seemingly disparate. Here's a spider mech. Oh, yes, please.
Ready.
Okay, so, Mint Beef, a lot to say about Lost Planet 3 as far as, like, a systems complexity standpoint, as I understand it. I agree. The amount of things I can do here, and the ways that I can do it here in Lost Planet 2, far and away eclipses what I can do, and the ways that I can do it in Lost Planet 3. And that is part of what it is that we're going to be talking about at the conclusion of playing these two series. Is that, you know, the whole shtick here is that they've both lost something. And, you know, I'm kind of seeing if people can guess what it is that I'm driving at here. But, yeah, the focus on 3 was absolutely in the wrong places. It looks nice. And it looks nice in parts, I should say, because there's some parts that don't look so goddamn nice. And rather than do what this game did, which is you know, kind of ditch the story, which wasn't all that great to begin with, and focus on systems and arenas for you to fuck with those. You know, sort of design it more like a toy than a narrative. Then, you know, 3 comes along and it tries to be a stirring and heartfelt story with memorable characters that you're gonna think about and talk about and blah blah blah, and it just ain't. They don't have the writing staff to pull that off, and they apparently didn't have the time on the project to do so either, because it, like, Lost Planet 3 glosses over its whole fucking middle act. The spot where you're supposed to be really settling into your role, it does that via fucking cutscene, and it's like, alright, moving on, now we got this other thing happening. These guys have a skin that's unlockable. They're dressed sort of like monster hunters, in that they're in acrid bits. They've been kind of taming the things that we see with stuff attached to them, I believe. Again, another faction that we see, we don't get any kind of narrative time with. Oh, yes, please. KTE, if I'm enjoying doing these, then something may come of it. You know, that'd be cool. I'm glad that you're pulling for me. That's nice. I appreciate that. And yeah, I do enjoy doing these. Like I said, it's a thing that I do anyway. Usually it's just the witch to hear my thoughts. And she's tired of it, so we have to branch out. Oh. Yeah, she has clapped back with "fuck you talking about." I'm still going to end up hearing it. She's right. I will never stop.
Entering standby.
This is her own fault. She should have known better than to bind this particular spirit.
Initializing. Ready.
Oh, we got another? Yes, please.
Proceed to the next area.
Okay. So some interesting bits there on these hunters apparently being snow pirate elites. Cool. That's one of the dudes that we're playing as for this particular playthrough. I always figured that the factions, like kind of like the Rounders and the Waysiders, seem to be different factions doing different things in different spots. That what we had here was maybe some sort of branch of Nevik, because that's the kind of base that we're assaulting, who had been doing stuff, but then Nevik did hire the carpetbaggers to do things as well. And yeah, that's... Sure, I'll roll with it. I would have liked to see them talk about that, though, you know? It's one of those times where we could have spared a moment to say something, and we didn't. There we go. There's going to be another one at the end of this hallway. Now my boy is having a moment again. Oh well. Give me that. There they are. Suck shit. Quake days. Oh, yes, please. Oh, the Snow Pirate elites? We're talking about comparatively strong to Nevik. Yeah, they certainly seem to have the most resources to dump into things, don't they? I'm not entirely sure where they got them. I guess they must have just taken them from everybody else, or they're a conglomeration of other clans that joined up. Shrug. You know what, if you're running for those bleed VSs, you can have them. I'm not really interested in those. I want this guy out of there, because, you know, rocket launcher. And then I'm going for this flight-capable one. Mobility, it's important.
You'll need to go after that experimental weapon.
Yeah. I'm doing it. The adjutant is talking to me. Now, there's one of those down there, and these are probably my favorite ones in this game. They got 3 modes. That's one of the modes. It's also got crab sub mode, where it can shoot torpedoes. I don't remember how powerful the torpedoes are or aren't, but, you know, it can do that. It does neat things. And so I want one. And I'm gonna get it. These people can't stop me. And the worms that guard it also can't stop me. We're being invaded from the water. For now, though, this'll do. Off we go. Are you shitting me? Okay, fine.
Entering standby.
Oh, I'm sorry?
Releasing pilot.
Let's see. Okay, yeah. You should just give me an update on the time. So we'll probably wrap up this mission and likely, well, we'll see where we are as far as the episode goes. 'Cause then breaking things up gets fucking weird with the way that it handles that. There we are. I've now stacked things. Yeah, we may just go dual chain guns for right now. It's got the most available ammunition. Shotgun's nice, but eh. There we are. Picking things up. Picking things up. Alright. And now it's time to go into the blue. Which was a movie. Didn't see it. I know, Pi. I know. This may end with a submarine fight. I'm not entirely sure.
System restored.
That may be the episode. You guys don't want to open the door? You want me to open the door? Come on, we'll walk over there together. We'll see if you can make a decision.
Entering standby. Releasing pilot.
Sometimes they'll do it, sometimes they won't. There we are. It's open. And here we see some of those guys we saw in Lost Planet 1. The little bomb squids. We see a few more of the new ones too, those piranhas. I think they function about the same as the pendulum-headed ones, in that they bump you. And these are those globsters that we found in the sewers. Apparently their native habitat is underwater. Sort of jellyfish or squid-like under here. There we are. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, they just kind of, like, peck at you, huh? Oh, that's nothing to really be concerned about. Give that a touch up. Touched up. I agree, Pi. An underwater level in a game like this is interesting as far as a concept is concerned, but we don't get much in the way of underwater tools, do we? You can kind of swim, kind of, sorta. And we'll try to show that off in just a moment, but it's, you know, it's a thing. It's a change of scenery. I kind of get why they did it. Could they have spent their time doing something else? Yeah, probably, but I'm not going to complain too much. It wouldn't be until, like, much later in the Monster Hunter series, I want to say fucking Monster Hunter Tri? That they did underwater stuff? May have been Tri. Anyway, this is one of those worms I was talking about. If you go down there and try to fuck with the case that we got to open with thermal energy before shooting the worms, they Capcom lock you. Yes, please. Yeah. The comment on it being the same as the space mechanic with the jetpack. Yeah. We'll see the space mechanic later. It's the same. We just have a jetpack attached to our coccyx, which is a fun way of saying tailbone. That's what it's called. Tell your friends. We may be stuck in the jet. It'll blow us out eventually. There we go. We have some directional control now. Cool. We got there. Alright. Out of my way, I gotta get a crab. We're charged. Open. Don't touch my shit. Okay? Guys? Don't. Don't do it. That's mine. There we go. Here we are. Hi, bud. What's up, man? Who knows? Okay, nothing. The answer is nothing. Sometimes he thinks he has complaints, but actually, nah. Yeah, that one will just be capped. That's fine. Come on. There we go. So, this VS, easily my favorite in this game, because, you know, we can do this. We can also assume this mode. And it works sort of like the helicopter. 4 is still up, 1 is still down, but I get to use the guns on it. Come on. Oh, am I stuck? I'm stuck on the edge there. The bad part about the helicopter controls is that it's fucking slow. There we go. We got what we came for. Back to walking. It also has this function. It's got a hook there, a saw there. It's multifaceted. KTE, it looks really cool. Yeah, I thought so. I like its fucking hard angles and kind of like softer curves being combined. I think that's a sick notion. Like to just think of how it is that you would want to design something for aero and hydrodynamics, as well as whatever the fuck else. Sloped armor in general is a good idea for repelling projectiles, or stuff that's swung at you, because you increase the chance of it glancing in a direction. Anyway, this is what swimming looks like. It's the same for space. We'll see that later. Also, hey, closed cockpit.
Ready. Damage critical. Damage critical.
That was weird. Oh, it's because they're gun is just kind of not animating right. That's okay. I forgive them. I believe that's the one that kind of got caught in the initial melee. That's 2. And now. The only problem with it is that when you're aiming up, you know, you can see this. I can't see so good. That maybe should have been considered. I wonder how powerful these strikes actually are. Again, I'm sure... There we go. Someone has... like the exact metrics on it, but I'm not gonna look that up. Yes, please.
Ready. Entering standby. Releasing pilot.
Oh, apparently it's not even the most overpowered VS. Is it still the hardball? I would imagine it's the hardball. That, for anyone that doesn't bother to learn the names of these things, is the one with the goofy fucking sloped head.
We lost the weapon. There's no way for us to go after him.
Copy that. There's an
Yeah, I couldn't use this crab mech.
check out. A couple VSs are headed your way.
Oh, you sent the other ones, crab mechs. Well, I mean, I had to find mine. We bonded, but I guess you could just send in some. Alright. Our area results. We're looking at it. We got an S. Are we almost? We're almost there. I apologize for running over. Like I said, it just gets weird with the episode division.
Lock and load.
Because I'll have to go back and do the entire area again in order to get what we missed, and that's an enormous investment of time.
The rig is divided into 2 blocks.
Another playground.
To get into the facility, you'll have to get to the left block. The 2 blocks are connected by a drawbridge. That's the only way into the facility.
Okay,
Find the controls to the bridge and get across it.
we will. They made me leave my crab mech, but they left my guns, so that's nice. I know, Pi. We're almost there. So again, we have this big open map, and some spots are harder to attack than others, and some guys are more with it than others. There's a lot of spots to go and a lot of things to do. There is also a helicopter here that we're going to steal and then laugh at people while we fly above them and shoot them with a single chain gun. Because I'm playing solo as the pilot, I only have access to the 1 chain gun. Good news, that chain gun doesn't run out of ammo. There we go. I mean, don't just sit there and let them bully you, boys. Try a little bit. Oh, yes, please. On the...
Use it to get to the other block.
Yeah, okay, man, I'm getting to it. On the comment about multiplayer having things available, I guess you can pilot the big ol' Acrid, the VS Acrid, quote, hybrid things. That's kind of cool. I kind of figured that they would have the maps available, which is nice and everything. It's just still not a proposition that I could see myself being into at any point in time. Like, the only thing that I can think is, nah, man, I'm good. Okay, yeah, he's an X now. We got him. We'll circle around the back here. Huh. Handy. And this is that helicopter I was talking about. This is it. Oh, I will.
Ready.
We saw one of these on the train. And don't worry, we'll also get all the data posts and everything. Now, the most important part of this is not to press Q at the wrong time. Because you can simply abandon your helicopter and fall to your death. That also tends to dump the helicopter in the water, which means it is then irretrievable. The problem here is that the number 1, if you look at your keyboard, is just above the Q key. Will I press it? Will we be able to avoid it? Who knows, that's the fun. Y'all like fucking gambling, right? See, I told you I'd be back to the gambling. Sure. We'll see if I can get back in that from there. Anyway. I'm doing it. It's lowered. We've done it. The bridge, that is. I gotta say, I'm with KTE on this one. He has said he is not a gambling man. Me neither. It always just seems like a raw deal, so I just fucking avoid it.
Ready. Damage critical.
It's really not. There we go. Just like real helicopter support, that was completely unnecessary. Yeah, looks good to me. To exit.
You should be able to access the underground facility from your current position, but you'll have to find a way in.
System restored.
Yeah, mint beef, 95% health means damage critical. According to the computers in Lost Planet, it absolutely does. You know, I've heard the term tossed around, bitching Betty, for a number of sort of control assist computers. These really take the fucking cake. Sorry? Oh, bitching Betty? Yeah, I mean, that's still what the witch was commenting, that a term bitching Betty is quite timely. Now, I believe that's still what pilots, combat and commercial, call their flight computers. She's having trouble grappling with the fact that there's probably some questionable language still in circulation with pilots in 2020. I know. It's hard to believe that, you know, surely not the pilots. They wouldn't do that. Not the pilots.
Entering standby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. No, we're doing this. That's fine. Of course, their Ospreys have gunners, but it's alright. My chain gun is not bad. It'll get us through the campaign crap, you know? there we are. Are we done? Do they have more? Okay, all Ospreys destroyed. Which means we have nothing left to do but to take this elevator, I believe, back down into the water.
Entering sandbar.
I would love to drive this helicopter into the water. It won't let me do that. I'm sure if I could get access to, like, just a few of the things that make the game tick, I could force spawn it in there. Yeah, you're right. It's because I don't want it bad enough.
Releasing pilot.
You guys didn't want to open the door either, huh? You're just gonna stand there posing with your rocket launchers? With your rocket launchers right about waist height? Trauma switch? You think that's funny? It is. It's hilarious. Ladies can do that too. It's hilarious. Don't ever be afraid to make people embarrassed to be around you. The joke's on them, not you. Always. Always. We got an A. Sass. Again, sass. It knows who I am. Okay, that's the chapter results, which means we should be safe to call this quits for the time being. And it's not simply the area results. So, we'll save, we'll return to the campaign menu. Alright. I believe that'll about do it. We'll send you here. We'll cut the noise. And so, yeah, we're continuing our adventures through Wayne Planet. We've met maybe Commander Joe. Wouldn't that be nice? We're never going to get confirmation as to whether or not it's Joe. No one says his name, or I think is supposed to be anyone other than X-Faction leader within this narrative. But, all the same, we see what it is that Lost Planet kind of tried to do after Wayne, in that it went, our systems are cool, our narrative less cool, let's look at the systems rather than that. But when we get to Dead Space 2, we'll see if they follow suit. But we also see that in a lot of our cutscenes, maybe common sense, reason, any kind of sense of grounding is thrown out the window. Whereas with Wayne, we seemed to try. That's long gone. We have time to pose on moving trains after explosions, moments to whip the camera around and show the character doing something brave and heroic and firing with bizarre and superhuman accuracy that you can't really replicate in the game. Anyway, I'll leave you alone to wander for a bit. A recommendation, checking out Crackdown 2. Yeah, I remember playing Crackdown 1 and 2 when I was much younger. I haven't dug them up in quite some time. I think the only copies that I had were available on the 360, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But hey, thanks for showing up. What the fuck was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Oh, right. Leaving you alone to wander for a bit. Yeah, you can find your way. See ya.